Okay, so we're here tied up at the Cross Arms pub. This is very typical of the end of the night, whereby you have a bunch of the canal boats tied up and some still coming by. You can kind of see the length of the canal. For those of you that can kind of see, I'm sporting a kind of an ugly looking Yasser Arafat type growth here. And the reason is because you can only use biodegradable soaps because they pump all the gray water overboard. That was my first question for you Airstreamers, is what the black and gray water capacity is on these boats. The gray water is filtered and pumped right back into the canal, and the black water is actually held in a holding tank to be pumped out. And I asked them what the capacity was, and none of them knew, but they said that they've had 12 people for 2 weeks and have never run out of capacity. So there's certainly a lot of places to go and to store your stuff. As you can see, there's always bikers and walkers along these towpaths. It's a real gem for the UK to have this canal system. So let's take a walk on up to the pub here. You can kind of see. All right, good morning, C.
Good morning.
So what are we doing right here?
We are making breakfast for 8 on our narrowboat. We are having scrambled eggs, crumpets, and bacon.
Some crumpets. Oh, we got our youngest crew member here trying to get through. Go on through, Gretchen. All right.
We need to turn the heat down on this.
You can see we've got a nice view of the canal out of our kitchen.
And these first batch of scrambled eggs are almost done.
Awesome. All right. We're getting water. Here's our water spigot. Let it drain for a bit.
Why do you put water in there?
Alrighty. All right, and as you can see, we're filling our water spigot here. Comes from ashore.
That up?
And we'll fill that right up until the point that it fills up. And then we'll be heading off in that direction right there, after hitting the aqueduct.
This is the tutorial on how to grease your prop.
Grease your what?
Okay. Each day, regardless of what these non-maritime folks, except for John,
Sometimes in the morning.
has,
whose ship sunk.
has to do about greasing props.
Great job.
Each day at the end of your narrowboating adventure, you have to grease the propeller, and that's done by turning a knob until it stops in the engine room. So as we can see, the knob is here.
Greasing the knob and the propeller. I don't know if I
Down.
can take this anymore.
Get right in there. So we're going to crank this thing. You can see the propeller shaft. We're going to crank it, and that's bringing grease down into the propeller shaft because they probably don't have a stuffing box.
A what box?
A stuffing box.
Cindy, we're taping. Come on now. You think I'm kidding, huh? And how do you know when you've greased it enough?
Until you can't move it anymore. So that one looks greased. So we're going to put the cover back on.
Your photographer, that's excellent.
We're going to do one final check of our small Isuzu diesel. See what that looks like. Making sure there's no big oil leaks or anything else, and it looks like a little bit of water in the bilge, but nothing too bad. So we're going to call this pretty good, and we're going to do our daily PM, call it success.
Hey, where's